Pay attention to this verbal acknowledgement of your existence. I am Skele-Tiny, and you are watching SkeleTalk, a series largely driven by your engagement, contributions, and comments. If you do not find the show entertaining, it is your fault, and you should try harder. Now, I have taken it upon myself to begin this week's episode as our official host, Lord Skeletor, has been unavoidably detained. He is currently up on the roof, retrieving several frogs which our colleague Whiplash has successfully thrown up and out of the chimney. Early indications suggest that none of the amphibians have been injured or harmed in any way, and we expect confirmation of this shortly. Now, at this point in the show, I would likely choose to interrupt Skeletor with a question about cows, but I shall instead pick an inconvenient moment later on, meaning we can begin the episode after this noisy transition. And here we are. As luck would have it, the first question this week is for me, and it's from Jojo, who has the following three-parter. She asks, what is it about cows that has caught your interest so intently? What's your favourite type of cow, and would you ever eat one? Well, I am primarily drawn to cows because of their noses. Let's have a look at some cow noses. Here's one. And here's another. And, oh, look at this one. Very good. I also like their faces and the sound of their moos. I don't have a favourite type of cow, but I do like black and white ones. My least favourite cows are the hairy Highland cattle, because they aren't so nice to stroke. And eating cows is not an option for me, because I am too small to comfortably chew meat fibres. This limits me to vegetarianism, although I can eat some types of water fish. Great questions. Mimi Rogers asks, what is favourite hip-hop song? Well, I can tell you that Skeletor cannot tolerate the vast majority of hip-hop and would be hard-pressed to provide an answer. I quite enjoy Insane Clown Posse, and yes, I have seen them live, and everyone went home soaking wet and sticky. Favourite song? Tilt-A-Whirl. Juggalo! Soda Cauldron is wondering if...
Skeletor's coming back now.
Yes, thank you, Whiplash. Soda asks if a whisper gold is better than a whisper, or if an arrow is better than both. I would say that the unadulterated whisper is the winner in this case, although a mint arrow is quite a heavy hitter, albeit incomparable to other aerated chocolate. Hello, Skeletor. Are the frogs okay?
Yes! Why are you here?
I thought it would be helpful to start the episode as you were busy. Did I do a good job?
Well, I don't know. I wasn't here, you idiot. I suppose you've been talking about cows.
No, cows have not been mentioned.
Well, good. Get out of my sight before I beat you.
Okay.
Right, let's get on with the show properly, Whiplash. Arch Stanton has a couple of questions. Firstly, is it true that Taylor Swift is, in actuality, a spy working for King Hiss? Nope, it's the other way around. Swift has Hiss in her pocket. It was early in her career that she chose to hiss herself. It was a bold move, but seems to be working for her. Secondly, Arch Stanton asks, is Helen from HR available? She has lovely getaway sticks, and I'd enjoy throwing a frog up her chimney. Well, I'm sure she would appreciate those sensitive remarks. And yes, she is technically available and actively dating. I'm afraid I do not know her well enough to estimate her level of promiscuity, but I can tell you that she has extremely high standards, and that she carries nunchucks in her purse. Good luck. Let me know how it goes. Mike Cannelloni asks if there's a Captain Eternia and requests further details. Well, the answer to your primary question is no. However, there is an Eternia man. His main characteristics are his pleasant, musky aroma and his resemblance to a cigarette lighter. He is shit at performing rudimentary ambulation and cartwheels. Thanks, Mike. General Stephen Jones of our expansion division is in need of assistance, verily. He writes, due to a series of miscommunications, I'm seeking the best way to stop a femoral artery wound. Untreated, this could leave the patient in quite a predicament. Their blood type is, ironically, B positive, and they happen to be a haemophiliac. Yes. Well, your patient is in quite the pickle. But don't worry, I know exactly what to do.
Skeletor.
We have an update. It seems that the situation has resolved itself, and General Jones is instead seeking suggestions for someone who could fill in for actor and comedian Will Ferrell. Yes, of course. I shall email you after the show. Stand by. Weapon Zero asks if I've considered summoning the spirit of James Brown to record a duet version of Living in America entitled Living in Eternia. Well, I think this would be an improvement over the original song, which is awful. However, his spirit is unavailable, as he is currently burning in hell for reasons I cannot comfortably discuss on the channel. Sorry about that, but thank you. Daniel questions Heron is it true that Jason Raphael Murdoch turned down Eva Green because he was too busy being cool? Yes, this is absolutely true. I was there when it happened, and it was brilliant. Jason accepted her phone number, and then immediately, in front of her, he sent her a text message that simply said, "Not interested." The look on her face was priceless, and she instantly grew a weak moustache. Thanks. Jason Raphael Murdoch writes, trumpet, trombone, tuba, or saxophone? Which of these would you use to wake Evil Lynn from slumber? Oh, are you mental? Fucking hell. Whiplash, please find a sensible communication from somebody.
Yes, Skeletor.
Yeah, I am pleased to bring you an update from Ben, astutely, detailing this week's attempts at a less lazy, more expedient and enthusiastic Susan for use on one's farm stall, mindful that let them eat cake was spin for revolution, inspired a reclining washing machine-powered prototype platter solution, whose introduction compelled proletariat protest and cries for my decapitant execution. Excellent. Ben continues, I'm due at the scaffold on Tuesday with no means of apparel ablutions. Could you send me Monkey Boy's plumber's number and the barristers that got Beastman off that prosecution? Now, I appreciate that none of you know what's going on right now, but Ben has been kind enough to provide some diagrams to help us understand what he has achieved and perhaps gain some insight into his complicated cerebral difficulties. So, in the first diagram, we can see the schematics of the enthusiastic Susan, the mobile cake delivery system that Ben has built using a garden trolley, his washing machine, and his mum's dining table. I encourage you all to pause the video and zoom in to appreciate the detail. Next, we have a statistical comparison showing us that a standard lazy Susan has an effective kinetic range of 3/8 of an inch, give or take 1/16 of an inch, whereas Ben's highly motivated Susan has a blast radius of over 75 feet, not accounting for the wind shear factor. And in the final diagram, we see a representation of the high-velocity cake distribution system and what it might look like in operation. Again, I recommend pausing the video so that you may zoom in to study the details. I do not know what this thing is, but I like it very much. Thank you, Ben. Those diagrams were very helpful. And in answer to your question, yes, your sausages were cooked inadequately, and you have made several people quite ill. Your burgers were excellent. Thanks again. Retro Toy Guy Sai confirms that he has released Catherine Parkinson back into the wild, but is concerned that he will now not be able to discover which member of the IT crowd would be best at circumcising a squirrel. Well, I would suggest that Moss would be capable of the task, although I'm sure he would appreciate a second pair of hands. However, I must make you aware that a squirrel's foreskin is an essential part of the animal and should not be removed unless it has become seriously infected.
Skeletor.
What? Whiplash and spirit of Whiplash and spirit of Whiplash.
Squirrels' willies have a bone in them.
I know squirrels' willies have a bone in them, Whiplash and spirit of Whiplash and spirit of Whiplash.
Penis, Skeletor.
Yes, but I'm not talking about squirrels' penises. I'm giving advice on squirrel foreskin management. Get out of my sight.
Yes, Skeletor.
Right, let's move on.
Cow question.
Oh, Christ.
Thompson Hereford Farm. I would like to ask, do cows get bored? If so, what sort of hobbies might they enjoy? Do they play with things? And if so, what kind of things can be provided to enrich their environment? I think I once saw a cow playing with a ball, but I wasn't wearing my glasses, so it may have been a goose chewing a ladder. Skeletor, I'm down.
Okay, K-Dog asks, Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, or Anthrax? Who is best of the faux Big Four of metal? To be honest, I don't know. I don't really rate any of them. In fact, I've had bus journeys that were more aggressive. Thanks, man. Award-winning ninny Gerard O'Connor wants me to announce publicly that I have never experienced victory in the game Tic-Tac-Toe, also known as Noughts and Crosses. Listen, Gerard, I told you that in strictest confidence. Why would you say that? You've made me look a right Burke, which I'm certain was not your intention. Idiot. Finally, Stephen Gray wants to know the strangest place I've been chased off by the feds. Well, an exotic bird habitat in Frankfurt Zoo, an albatross colony in the mid-Atlantic, and an exhibition of surrealist paintings by Leonora Carrington. The place wasn't strange, but the paintings were. You may ask what I was doing at these locations before being chased away. Right, that's the episode. Thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up. Go on, I dare you. And don't forget to leave a comment or a question for next time. Now, please gather your belongings and get out of my sight before I beat you.